What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Rambling Gambling Show podcast. We took a little week off. Two of us went on little vacations down to the islands. Little island boys this past week. But we're back. Obviously, I look like I have a great tan. Just got a haircut today as well. So feeling good. Nice. Bragging a little bit. Get over it. Don't care. Critter, you were down. Where were you at?
I was stationed in St. Thomas. I was in St. Thomas, staying on Sapphire Beach, right there at the little harbor they got, and there's the beach right there to the side. Did a little island hopping, a little snorkeling. Yeah, it was really nice. Beautiful weather.
What was your drink of choice last week?
Okay, so there's actually a drink on the island, and it's called Painkillers, and it's like. Yeah, it's like pineapple juice and some like real tropical juices and rum. So that was like their fancy drink on the island, or their go-tos. I drank a insane amount of those, especially on the boat tour we did. They had unlimited drinks. Yeah, I had a good old time. Saw some sea turtles.
Did you?
Some stingrays. Yeah, swam with them. Yeah, it was pretty sweet.
Damn,
we went out in the open, bro. It was awesome.
That is sick. Garrett, how was Raleigh last week?
How was Raleigh? Super boring. Thank you. Weebs, how was your trip?
Yeah. It was good. It was good. I was down in the Bahamas. Also went snorkeling one day, just kind of around a reef. Did not see any sea turtles though. A little disappointed about that. A lot of little fish. Actually, the guy next to us where we were staying caught a 65-pound mahi deep sea fishing one of the days. So he came back, cleaned that, and we ate that for dinner one night, which was sick.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was delicious. It was awesome.
Yeah.
My drink, pina coladas. Pounding frozen pina coladas.
Nice. Yeah, dude. I had a few on tropical vacations. That is the only acceptable time to get fruity drinks as a male, I think. Like, if I'm going to get a strawberry daiquiri ever, you have to be at a beach or in a tropical situation.
Yeah, I was killing the frozen drinks as well.
Yeah,
I drank so much.
That's the best. Honestly, that's one of the best things about going to like a beach vacation or a tropical vacation is just crushing sugary drinks all day long.
I was like, I don't want to be hungover, but there's a difference in being hungover on vacation. Or I said being hungover in paradise is a lot different than being hungover at home. So
that's a hell of a tweet right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I want to take back my statement real quick. I actually went to a Canes game, Carolina Hurricanes game.
Yeah.
And watched that shit in a box stand, dude, and they won in overtime. First hockey game ever, first experience. 10 out of 10 recommend that. Go Canes. I'm all on board. They're winning the cup this year.
Do you think since that was your first game, do you agree with my thought process in saying that hockey is the best live sporting event to go to?
Oh, dude, yeah, it's instantly in my top two. I would say, I mean, I just love football. So, like, if I didn't have this passion for football, and, like, I think if I would have grown up, like, in Canada or something, I would say definitely. But, I mean, we played a ton of football and not a lot of hockey. There was nobody I knew that played hockey growing up, So, it was hard for me to kind of get into it. But going and seeing it live, and also I kind of have a little bit of, like, I guess you could put an asterisk by it because it was in a box stand. They had, like, free beer and stuff, and I was like you on the island, Craig.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, hockey's badass.
Yeah. Overtime hockey too is intense because it's like sudden death. So yeah, it's crazy.
Dude, the jerseys are sweet too.
The jerseys?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a Canes jersey, bro. They're sick.
They're expensive though.
But all right, so we all enjoyed our vacation, enjoyed our hockey game. Let's get into it. A lot of news coming out of last week, this week. Let's start with what I think might not be the biggest one, but it's the one that kind of caught me off guard, at least it happening this soon with all the drama the last year or so. Rodgers signing a massive 4-year, $200 million contract.
Sure.
Bro's 38. That contract's taking him to be 42. Like, so good for them to come to this agreement. I mean, he's been dominant for years. I mean, pretty much just locked up the NFC North for the next 4 years. I feel terrible for Bears fans. I feel terrible for Lions fans. I feel bad for Vikings fans. But I mean, what's everyone's thought processes on this? Coming to this agreement, expected, unexpected?
I think we kind of touched on it at one time when we were talking about where he could go. But yeah, I mean, staying there in that conference, just kicking the shit out of those teams, like I don't really blame him, I guess, versus where they were trying to get him in Denver. That he goes over there, and we can get into that with the next trade talk. But yeah, I think him staying there was just like kind of I don't want to call it cowardly, but it's definitely a safer move for him record-wise, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, they put the franchise tag on Devontae Adams like shortly right after. They clearly want those two guys. They know what they have in them. I mean, what is this? Was this Aaron? Was this his 4th or 5th MVP? I think it was his 4th.
Ooh, I didn't know he had that many, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, he's got it's either 4 or 5, dude. I'm not sure. I didn't want to. I don't think it's 5 because 5 seems outlandish. But like, if you got a 2-time MVP, like, you better keep that mug. You know what I mean? So they know what they got in Rodgers. I think it just kind of took a little bit of like, and this is what I think you'll start to see this year. I think you'll see Rodgers basically having more of a front office say in draft process, trades, depth chart stuff, all that kind of deal. Because I mean, they know what they have in him, but when you got a guy butting heads with him, and I mean, you got to let the player, do what he's going to do. You can have a million coaches, but there's only going to ever be one Aaron Rodgers. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with him staying in Green Bay, are the Packers an automatic, top 3 team in the NFC?
I don't know about that. I mean, probably top in the NFC. Yeah. I think I would say though, if he doesn't win a Super Bowl, this is just a huge waste of money for them. Would y'all agree with that? Like, is it worth it if he doesn't win a Super Bowl?
I mean, he's already won one. So, I mean, I think he's kind of already done his due diligence by Green Bay, if you will. But, I mean, I don't think it's wasted. I mean, if he gets them to a Super Bowl, in my opinion, it's definitely worth it. But, I mean, I think it's going to be something where you'll see him, like, building around himself and picking up old guys. He likes the guys that he's played with for a long time. He likes Randall Cobb. I'm sure if Jordy Nelson came out of retirement today, he'd get him out there coaching receivers or something. So that's my take on it.
Yeah, I don't know if he might be one of those guys that when it's all said and done, his stats are going to be crazy. Like you said, he already has 4 MVPs. Like, his numbers are going to be off the charts if he plays until he's 42, or even if he plays a couple more years with these kind of numbers, they're going to be nuts. But the fact that he's only won 1 Super Bowl it's crazy to think about with just how good he's been and the team around him has been too. Like, that's just, I mean, they've been 14-3, or they've had some 14-win seasons the last few years and just can't get it done in the playoffs. So it is weird. Want to jump
How many
to
did Favre win?
What's up?
I said, how many did Favre win?
I think only one. Yeah, I think only 1 too.
I mean, like, and you got to think about this too. Like, the amount of Super Bowls that a quarterback wins nowadays, like, the expectancy for that is a lot higher. Like, I feel like that's like the standard for success, and I think it's because of what we've seen Tom Brady do. You know what I mean? I mean, the guy's got more Super Bowls than any team. So, but I think that's kind of like the standard. Everybody's always like, well, if he doesn't win, you know what I mean? Odell was saying that shit whenever he went to LA. He was like, if I don't win, I'm going somewhere else. Like, that's the mentality now. And, that kind of stuff is like, I think it's really putting a lot of like strain on how we measure people's greatness. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And just correction there, Favre went to 2, won 1, lost 1.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah,
I mean,
you're right.
Same amount of Super Bowls as Favre.
Yeah, and you're right about that's kind of just how we are as society nowadays. But I mean, you got to win. You got to win the ones that count. Like, yeah. I mean, I hate to like agree with that or go against it, but it's like you have to win championship. And it's like no one's gonna win 7. Like, no one's gonna win 7, 6, whatever. That's not, I don't think, the expectation. but if you're that good year in and year out, you're winning 13, 14, 15 games during the regular season, you got to at least make it. You got to at least make it to that game.
Right.
So want to jump to your old guy in Philly. Carson Wentz leaving the Colts, staying in or going to the NFC with the Washington Commanders. Looks like they have their quarterback. I don't know what that really does. I don't know if that makes them the top team in the NFC East now. I mean, Cowboys and Eagles are probably still above them. So I don't know what Carson Wentz going to Washington does, but you guys got some skin in the game there with Garrett liking him as an ex-Eagle, and then Rivera being there from the Panthers for Crater. So any thoughts on that one?
Garrett, I'm really interested to hear what you think.
I mean, I hate it and I love it because I love Carson Wentz. And I'm not going to say I'm putting this out there because I love the guy, but when he got traded, I sent him a direct message on Instagram, and I was like, dude, thank you. You are a great guy. I respect you. He's a guy's guy. He's like Pat McAfee, man. He'd be out there like hunting with you and stuff. I love the dude. As far as a quarterback goes, I mean, he totally lost them. He totally cost the Colts their playoff spot this year. I was happy that he had a great year, obviously, because of the conditional pick that the Eagles received. But him coming back to the NFC East for me is not really it's not really a threat. I don't think it's like a threat to my team. I also don't think it's a threat to Dallas, really. I do, fantasy-wise, think that you're going to see Terry McLaurin have probably I don't know if this qualifies as a Gare Bear guarantee yet, but I'm going to say like a top 5 fantasy receiver year in PPR formats. And that's simply because, I mean, just look at the comparison of Michael Pittman, right? So Michael Pittman's a bigger guy. He caught a ton of passes this year and pretty much put Jacob Wiley like almost – I mean, he put him in the top 4 in our fantasy league and almost sent him, to the ship. And I think if you compare Michael Pittman and Terry McLaurin, every single person who's ever watched either one of them play will take McLaurin 10 times out of 10. I love the guy. He's a great receiver. Look for him to be a top 5 finisher in PPR formats. I also think that you're going to see Antonio Gibson have a great year this year because of that. In many ways, having a good quarterback opens up your running game. I mean, a lot of people don't really think about that, but like a good passing game is going to open up the run game. Antonio Gibson's going to have a great year. Sleeper pick this year. Logan Thomas will also have a great year, but I think Curtis Samuel is also going to break out. Guy who didn't play much this year, but you saw him in Carolina, Crater. I know you got love for him. Good.
Yeah, he's good. He'll definitely be a guy that, like on FanDuel or DraftKings and stuff, he'll definitely be one of those picks every week. For those single games. Yeah, I mean, Carson Wentz, dude. It's crazy. Maybe Nick Foles will come in behind him and then take over halfway through, and then Commanders might win a Super Bowl.
Oh, definitely not. I don't know who the Colts are going to go after. I mean, everybody, like the obvious candidate is Jimmy G, right? But I'm not sure what their move is. Their backup is the guy from Texas, Sam Ehlinger. Is that how you say it? Ehlinger?
Yeah.
The guy who seemed like he was at Texas for like all of the time we were in college and then some. He's not very good. He's kind of like a Trace McSorley backup. He can come in and throw a couple TDs, but he's going to throw a couple picks. I see them going after Garoppolo. It makes sense. But in my opinion, I don't think Garoppolo is going to get them much more better of a result than Wentz did this year. He might make the playoffs and he'll be able to manage the team better, but I just don't think Garoppolo is the guy.
So, I mean, the football team went 7-10 last year with Heineke probably playing most of the games. What does Wentz get him up to? Is Wentz worth 2 wins?
2 wins?
Yeah, so most of what 9-8 would be what they finished this year.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't do bad for the Colts. The last game where he just cost them the game, and that was the most hysterical bad playoff scene since the butt fumble. It was bad. So that stains me, and I'm sure by like week 2, if Carson Wentz is like a top 10 quarterback, I'm going to be back on the train. But
because their defense wasn't good last year, but the year before they were fucking dominant.
Yeah.
So it's like you turn that defense back on. You get some adequate QB play. Like you said, Gary, you have solid weapons with McLaurin. You have Gibson in the backfield. You have a solid foundation, a solid team in a poor division.
Mm-hmm.
No offense, in a poor division. So, and look, you guys beat each other up anyway. Cowboys and Eagles are both play each other hard. The Giants, who the hell knows what's going to happen with them? So I mean, I don't hate this move for Washington. I mean, it gets them someone that is a name. It's someone who has performed in the past, and who knows? It gives them something solid to work around. And I can see it definitely helping them this coming season.
He is the best quarterback they've probably had since Kirk Cousins was there.
Yeah, I agree with that. What do you guys think the NFC East finishes? Like who's first, second, third?
I'm probably going to stay with the Cowboys at first, and then it's Eagles or Commanders for that number 2.
That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
I mean, Eagles over the Commanders, or Commanders over the
Eagles? I know you want us to say the Eagles, but I don't know.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. All right.
Jump out west. Let's jump out west. Big trade. Russ finally getting out of Seattle. It seems like he's won it out for the last year plus. Goes to Denver. Denver gives up a lot to get him. Gives up Drew Lock, first round pick a few years ago. Noah Fant, first round tight end. But Russ he's on a new team. He's in Denver, which now that division is stacked.
Crazy quarterback division. Yeah. I don't know. I was hoping that Noah Fant was going to stay with the Broncos and he was going to become like a top 3 tight end, but I guess they went. Like you said, that's a lot of. They gave up a lot. They gave up how many? Like 5 picks, 3 players.
Ton.
Yeah. For Russell Wilson, who is what 33. I don't know.
It's an interesting move.
It's very risky, but that's kind of what the the status quo has been here recently. Is like get a big name quarterback and just go all in for that season. So,
right.
I don't know.
I mean, so fantasy wise for Denver, because I do want to talk about the Seahawks too, but for Denver, is he a top 5, top 10 quarterback again?
I think you have to assume that every year. I mean, last year was the first year in his whole career that he's even been out of the top 10. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And he's 33, like you said. I think I would take Russell Wilson gladly as a second round quarterback any day. Well, you got a lot of young talent, so maybe second, third round, but he's nasty and he's fast. I mean, he can score you a couple of rushing tutties, and that's what we look for.
Yeah. So on that team, though, are you looking at Javonte Williams to probably have another great year, and then you got Judy and Sutton on the outside?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge Javonte guy. Crater knows that. Well, you both know that from fantasy this year. I went all in on him. I played him all year. I think you'll see him be a top 5 rusher next year. I think he's better than Najee Harris is as a running back. I just don't think he got fed like Najee did. Najee had the most carries out of any running back this year. And Javonte split time with Melvin Gordon. So for me, I personally am not really a big Jerry Jeudy guy. Obviously, I liked him out of the draft, man, when him and, Henry Ruggs were, coming out of Alabama. They were like 2 huge guys, 4.3 speed, whatever. They were exciting then, but injuries. I just keep getting plagued by that. So I'm going Sutton. I picked up Cortland Sutton this past year in a non-PPR standard format. And he had some great games. I mean, he was good, but shoddy quarterback play is only going to get you so far, man. And I will say this: Matthew Berry tweeted out that Albert Obungawale, the backup tight end for the Broncos, who we've seen play every now and again, he says he moves into a top 7 tight end position. I don't think so. I don't think that Russell Wilson has ever really been a fan of tight ends. straight up. I mean, he's like, think about it. They've had Will Dissly, they've had Jimmy Graham there in years, they had Nick Bennett, and never once did any of those guys finish out of the top 12. So if it's me and I'm going fantasy, I think you can take any of their wide receivers. I pick Sutton over Judy. Stay away from the tight ends. Take the defense, which is a great defense, by the way, and Javonte Williams.
With that division, though, I mean, Chiefs obviously probably gonna be at the top again. Are the Broncos and the Raiders and competing for that number 2 slot, or you got the Chargers coming back in?
I think the Raiders go to the last in the division.
Yeah. I think y'all want to rank there's 4 quarterbacks.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Obviously Mahomes. I'm gonna go with Herbert over Russell Wilson, just because he's younger, he's got a better arm, and then I would go Russell Wilson, but I don't think Derek Carr is that far behind Russell Wilson either. But yeah, you guys agree with that?
Are you like ranking what kind of year they're gonna have?
Yeah, this season.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm with you, man. I'm a huge Herbert guy. Last year, he actually saved my fantasy season, not this past year, but the year before. I don't know. Derek Carr is very inconsistent. I like him as a guy, as a person, and a quarterback. But I don't think he's close to Russell Wilson. I think he's pretty far down there at number 4 by himself.
And then before jumping to the Seahawks, shout out Sam Martin. He's the punter for the Broncos, App State guy. So shout out Sam. But yeah, so Seahawks got Drew Lock. Is that going to be their guy?
No.
Onions.
So
Garbage.
they got these receivers. They got DK.
Mm-hmm.
They got Noah
For
Fant.
now.
For now, yeah. They got Noah Fant from the Broncos. Drew Lock can't be their guy. But
no.
Are there any rumors what they're going to do? Are they going to attack somebody in the draft? Are they trying to get somebody else? Anyone know?
What I've heard is Watson. I've heard they're trying to go after Deshaun Watson pretty hard. As of late, I've heard more Pittsburgh is becoming more of like a front runner for Watson, but initially Seattle was going after him. But I think if they don't sign anybody big, you got to rebuild this year. I mean, that's what they're doing.
Bad Watson take.
Don't like that?
No.
Where's he going?
Carolina, of course.
Oh.
Stupid. That's why, boy.
They're probably going to give up McCaffrey. Sorry, I don't mean to bring in.
Would that be worth it to get Watson?
I don't know. I just feel like that's something they might do.
Well, I'm asking you, how would you feel about that? You think
to get a elite quarterback like that, I think it might be worth it.
Yeah,
we can. There's more running back talent that's easier to get than
you need somebody to stay on the field. I mean, that's at the end of the day, that's what you need.
Trade for Deshaun, trade for Melvin Gordon.
Wait, what?
Said trade for Deshaun and then trade for Melvin Gordon.
I wouldn't hate Melvin Gordon.
You guys are back in it. You guys are back on top of the NFC South, maybe, since you don't have the Bucks gonna beat you twice a year. So
yeah, that's a little bit of relief.
Well, they're also in the hunt for Deshaun Watson.
Yeah, chill.
So just something for you, what?
We don't need to put that out into the universe.
Panthers about to suck again.
I know. If they do, if we don't get a big name quarterback, I'm probably going to be a Bills fan next year.
Oh, okay.
I've been saying it since like halfway through last season. If we don't do something new at quarterback, I'm going to have to just take a season off.
Yeah.
I can't keep doing it.
Speaking of taking a season off, Calvin Ridley.
Fudge, dude.
Crazy.
What he got? So he bet $1,500 on 3 different parlays. I think $1,500 was the total dollar value. 3 different parlays. I have a take on this, and I'll kind of go first here. He's an idiot. Like you, as a professional athlete, you have to know better. There are so many things that as an athlete I'm sure that he can't do, that you're not allowed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the top 2 or 3: banned substances, gambling. You can't gamble on your own sport.
On your own sport, that's the only thing you can't do.
Like, and that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, you can say that the ruling was too strict for the year. I mean, hell, Pete Rose has been out of baseball for 40 years.
I was gonna say, yeah, something like this, considered cheating like this, it's dangerous because it can like manipulate the entire league if it like got out of hand.
It's a slippery slope, and it's not. I mean, and it's one of those things that you have to stop, and you just can't allow. And he's an idiot. Like you have to know better. I'm sure there's probably 1,000 signs. There's 1,000 pieces of paper. There's 100 guys that are telling him every year, "Hey, these are the things you can't do," and this is probably at the top of that list.
Yeah.
So yeah, it sucks. It sucks to see him out of the league for a year. It's gonna suck for the Falcons. But you know,
Spin zone. The day before this all came out, he tweeted, "I learned from my L's." So maybe this is just part of his story, in his eyes.
Part of his plan. But
Yeah.
Philly almost had signed a deal with him today. Or before, not today. Today I got the word that Philly had almost signed a deal for Calvin Ridley, and then they found out he was getting suspended.
Yeah.
well, good thing for you they didn't sign that deal.
Yeah.
It's true.
All right, last thing I want to touch on, or we want to touch on, sophomore quarterbacks. You always hear about the sophomore slump. You hear about guys that have a decent first year come out and suck it up second year, or vice versa. Guys who struggle year one, somehow year two it clicks. They kind of read defenses a little better. They make decisions a little quicker, get some more talent around them, maybe a coaching switch up. Kind of want to give I don't know if we want to do 1 through 3 or 1 through 4 of sophomore year quarterbacks who we like with, them themselves, and then also just the team that's surrounding them. I don't know if Gary, if you want to start.
Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I just got a notification. Did you guys know that the Chargers or the Chargers got Khalil Mack today?
Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea that they got Khalil Mack is a freaking hoss. One of my favorite defensive players of all time. Sorry. Anyway, so yeah, for me, man, I wish I could say Trevor Lawrence at number 1. I love Trevor Lawrence. Like, the dude's got the tools, but he just don't look great on film, man. He makes bad decisions in the NFL. I don't know if it's like he needs a year or what it is. But also you could blame all of that stuff on Urban Meyer and the Urban Show down there. He doesn't have a ton of talent around him defensively. Offensively, he's got, James Robinson. He's a baller. DJ Chark, I've always been a fan of him. Everybody's real high on Laviska, not me. I know Crater likes Laviska a lot. So I'm going to go with Zach Wilson, number 1. I think Zach Wilson makes the biggest jump. That's my thing. You saw him play really well this year in several scenarios. I mean, like Eagles game. When they played the Eagles, now given the Eagles had a pretty like middle of the road defense, but they had a good pass rush and a pretty decent secondary. Zach Wilson put up like 35 points on us. I mean, I really legit thought we were about to lose the Jets. But he played great. He's a mobile guy. He can throw the ball freaking far. He's got a cannon, dude. And you're starting to see Elijah Moore come out. Michael Carter had a heck of a year towards the end and stuff. He's also a Carolina guy like Javonte Williams. Big on him for next year as an RB2. So I'm going to go with Zach Wilson 1. I'm going to go with Lawrence 2, and then Trey Lance 3.
Leaving Fields out.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about Fields really.
Yeah. What's yours, Crater?
Yeah, I like Zach Wilson. Definitely at number 1. I would probably put Trevor Lawrence. Are we like purposely not bringing up Mac Jones because he sucks, or
I just think he's on a winning team. Like, he's already in a good situation. He's going to do good next year. Like,
I got you. Okay.
Big jumps. Yeah. Like, I don't.
All right. Well, just instead of him, we'll go Zach Wilson. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence, number 2. I like him. Trey Lance 3, and then Justin Fields. So
I got Trey Lance 1. I don't have Wilson on my list. I don't think the Jets are a good team.
They're not a good team. Well, we were talking about which quarterback's making the bigger jump.
I'm talking about who I think is going to be more successful next year.
Well, I wonder who your next quarterback is then.
I'm keeping Mac off the list too. I'm following with you guys. I'm going Trey.
Hey, man, Mac off.
Trevor Lawrence 2, Justin Fields 3. So I got him on my list. Quick finish here. Big news today. Baseball's back. Finally signed an agreement after 99 days. They were in, talks, communication. Lost the first couple series of the year, which sucks. But yeah, baseball's back. Crater, I know you got some notes on that. So the Braves.
I was just gonna name out some of the rule changes that they got. National League's now doing universal DHs. The playoffs are expanded to 12 teams. There's a limit to the number of times a player can be optioned to the minors in a season. Draft pick inducements meant to discourage service time manipulation. And then there's still like this 45-day window that they can implement a few other rule changes. But those probably won't come into effect till 2023, and that includes the pitch clock that they've talked about, defensive shifts, as well as larger bases. So all this for I don't know what.
I like the DH thing. I mean,
yeah,
I know it's old school baseball letting the pitchers hit, but they're fucking terrible. It's just it's an automatic out. It's baseball is already slow and boring sometimes as it is. I love the game, but it's very slow and boring sometimes.
Right.
I'd rather not have a dead out in the 9-hole. Give me a chance to at least get this running from third. So I like that.
That's definitely time is definitely the issue that I guess they're trying to address, make it more exciting. So.
But anything else you guys want to touch on today, or good to wrap?
No, I don't. I will say I'm excited. We're 53 days or 52 days from the NFL draft. So I'm excited for that. Quick note, shout out DeMarco Jackson, linebacker from App State. He has now been in 3 Eagles mock drafts in the late rounds. So a lot of people hyping up DeMarco Jackson. That's my boy. He liked my tweet the other day, so I'm stoked about that. Yeah, but no, I would love to get that guy there. I'm excited to talk that stuff with you guys. Eagles have 3 first-round picks this year, so what the fuck is up, man? I mean, it's a good year to be a Philly fan, dude.
Well, we'll see. We will see. That's for sure.
Yeah, we see you at the bottom of the standings, dude.
Chill. Not getting into it. Yeah, never mind. We will talk about some March Madness next week.
Yeah, gonna hit that. They'll do Selection Sunday, or Selection Sunday is coming up here. First round starts next Thursday, Friday. One of the best weekends of the year, I think, just to lay around, watch college basketball. I haven't watched any all year. I'm gonna throw out a pick here though, just without doing a ton of research. Taking Kentucky. They're probably gonna be a 2 seed, I think. I think if they're healthy, they have a great chance to win it all. But that's a week out, so that could get in the next week that we do this. But something next week that we're going to do, we're going to have a guest on. Let's get somebody on. Let's mix it up a little bit with them. Don't know who it's going to be. It might be one of our friends who still has yet to go to Waffle House for his fantasy football punishment.
Ooh, yes, love to hear about that. We might have to get premium Zoom for that.
Yeah. Kind of ask them what the deal is, what's going on, what's the delay. But that's what we got this week. Thank you guys for joining us. We are the Rambling Gambling Show podcast. That's what we got. See you guys next week.
Peace.